This video will show you how to make an origami star. If you have origami paper with color on only one side, start with the color side up. If you have origami paper with color on both sides, it doesn't matter which side is up. Start by folding the paper in half from bottom to top. Match up the corners and make a nice, crisp crease. Then unfold. Then fold in half again from left to right or right to left. Again, match up the corners. Make a good crease on the paper and unfold. So now we have a plus sign or a cross. Now we're going to flip the paper over. You need to flip it over whether you have one-sided or double-sided color on your paper. Now we're going to fold the paper in half on the diagonal. Diagonal means it goes like this. So we're going to let's start with the bottom right corner and go up to the top left corner. Match up those corners and make a nice clean crease and unfold. And we're going to do it one more time. We're going to do a diagonal fold, taking the bottom left corner to the top right corner. And then unfold again. Now we're going to change the shape of the paper using all of these creases that we've just made. This part is a little tricky. Here's how I like to do it. I like to start with one finger underneath these creases with both my hands on the paper, and I put two of my fingers, or really my finger and my thumb, on top, and I just sort of pinch it and start moving these creases towards each other. Look at how it changes shape then. And then I can just put them together and then put the bottom and the top together. See how that folded up? When I put it back down, it's an upside down triangle. Another way to explain that is that you're going to have the top edge and the bottom edge meet each other up here, and you just let the sides come in together. And then we lie it down flat as a triangle. You can watch that as many times as you need to get this shape. It is a little bit tricky. So now we have, we'll call these flaps or arms. We have one flap on this side on top, one flap on this side on top, and we have them also on the bottoms. I'm going to take the top right flap. I'm going to imagine there's a V here of creases already, and I'm going to fold this right arm across to that V. So now I have my two flaps here, and I've got this flap folded over, kind of sticking up. I'm not going to leave that there. I'm going to take this and fold it back just until I meet this middle crease right here that we already put there. You should still be able to see that. And I'm going to match up this fold to go straight up and down on that crease. We're going to do this for each of the arms. So we'll do the left side now, so you'll get to see it many more times. I'm going to start by imagining this V going like that. So that means I'm going to fold this over to the other side, but I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to fold it back, but stop when I see the up and down and try to match this up with that crease right in the center. it's okay if it isn't perfect. I know mine's not going to be. Now I'm gonna flip the entire thing over to do the bottom flaps. I have to flip it over before I can put them into the same shape. So we'll flip it, make sure your point is still closest to you. I'm gonna imagine that V here going out. So I'm taking the right flap and I'm folding it back. And then I'm gonna put it back on the right side again, starting to fold it back and stopping when I see that straight up and down crease that we had done before and matching it up with that as best I can. You'll notice it should match up with the flap behind it now. It should be in the same position, lying on top of that flap behind it. So that can be a good guide too. And one last time, I'm going to imagine that V right here, fold it to that as best I can. So now my left one is going over here, but I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to take it back to its side, but I'm going to stop when it's matched up this edge to that up and down. And also I can match it up with the flap that's lying behind it. And now all 4 of my flaps are in basically the same position. So I have 2 over here, 1 on top of each other, and 2 over here, 1 on top of each other. Okay, now this part is the last part, and it's a little tricky too. So we're gonna take these 2 on top that we just folded. We're basically just folding them down. We're just taking, you can take sort of the corner here and the corner here and this whole edge and just fold it down. I'm imagining a line, about right here. And I'm just gonna fold it back. Well, I'm left with this weird shape here, aren't I? Look at what that opened up. That was all our other creases inside. That's okay. I can just press that down. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it pressed perfectly flat, you could put this in a book overnight or put something heavy on top of it and it'll flatten it out for you. But no, now these are all of our arms of our star. If we flip it over, we have a star. And you might play with it a little, make some things a little bit more exact. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could put a face on your star. You could make a lot of stars and string them together. What else could you do with your stars?